And we're live. What's up, everyone? My name is Allie. I am here with my co-host, Jason.
What's up? What's up?
And so we are going to do our first night podcast.
Ooh.
Earlier today, we did our first day podcast. We talked about our road trip and some Eminem and T Swift. And for the night podcast, we're thinking of doing something a little bit differently than the day ones. We are going to play a relationship game, basically where you ask each other from casual questions to a bit more deep, and we'll talk about the situations and kind of go from there. The game is called Let's Get Deep. If you're interested, it's like that.
It's a fun game.
So fun. We've gotten many compliments on it just when we bring it out in public. We've been to the Cheesecake Factory and had multiple people come up and ask us what game we were playing. We also had our waitress.
Was she even our waitress? I think she may have been another waitress of a different table, and she just happened to see us playing. And
yes, you are right. She was not our waitress, but she saw us playing it, and she came by and was like, "Oh my gosh, me and my boyfriend loved playing that game."
Yeah, I think we actually bought it from like Target, and then we went to Cheesecake and then brought it in with us. So I think that was like the day that we bought it. And she already like made that comment, and it was like, okay, this seems like a cool game. I guess we're already like, it's like you get a fresh haircut or something, you immediately start getting compliments on it. It's kind of like that.
Yeah. So it's a fun game. You learn a lot about your partner, maybe things that you wouldn't think to ask. And it has a huge range of topics too. So it's not just like relationships. It's about like personal goals, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we've gone through most of it, and we've asked each other the questions, and we're actually planning on going through it again, where we're going to guess each other's answers. I mean, I guess we could do that here with this, but I think we'll kind of delve into a little bit of the questions and the topics, and kind of see what we find.
Yeah. All right. Should we get into it?
Let's do it.
Okay. So I'm literally just going to pick the card.
First question.
Like, no order. I'm not doing like icebreaker.
Just random?
I'm just going to.
Okay. All right. We may start with a deep question, maybe.
Actually, it's deeper.
Ooh,
so it is
shit. That's as deep as you're going to get.
Yeah. Okay. So, Jason.
I feel like I'm on the hot seat, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
You are.
For $500,000.
And I'll answer too, so don't worry.
Okay. Should not just put me on the spot.
Right.
Hopefully.
When will you have made it in your eyes?
When will I have made it? Oh, my Lord. That is a question. I've actually talked about this many, many times with you, with an ex, I don't know if I've spoken about it. I
actually know your answer.
Friend, yeah.
Wait, so...
Yeah, so my thing is, if you're familiar with psychology, if you're familiar with Maslow, I cannot remember what his first name is, though. But anyway, he developed it's kind of like a food pyramid in a sense, but it's called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And so this pyramid is basically like a food pyramid, but it's requirements that one needs to kind of psychologically satisfy their state and reach whatever, like their peak potential or their peak success is. Probably not doing it justice, kind of explaining it, but basically in the 5 different stages that you would progress in, the one at the bottom is pretty much the like absolute dire needs that you have, right? So it's like air, food, water, that kind of shit. Like you need this, obviously you have to have it, right? And then you kind of work your way up. And then there's other like psychological states, like, what was the other one? It was like financial, like meeting your financial status, shelter, right? Like shelter is not as a dire need as like breathing, but you need it. And then it just kind of goes up the list, sexual needs, all that kind of stuff. And so the top is basically self-actualization. And that's kind of my thing, that my determination and how successful I would be in life is if I reach self-actualization, which is pretty much just becoming like it's kind of like fully reaching your potential. And
you're still figuring out what yours is.
What that thing is, yeah. I mean, my whole life, I've been kind of always in that scenario or that situation where it's like my full potential is not being reached, and the company I was recently at, which did layoffs at the end of November, that was another company that, you're in positions, you're working your way up, you're excelling. But you're just, you deal with organizational structure issues, you deal with shitty bosses, you deal with just inability to kind of grow and go from there. And so, it's something that you kind of have to work with, but yeah, I'm looking into that. I mean, you can always hope that like one day, like this podcast will be something people like to listen to. And that's kind of really the whole thing of that, but that was a lot of rambling.
As you do.
Yeah. Prepare for that. How about yourself, Miss Alexandra?
Mine's a little bit more simpler, I think.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know your answer. So.
You know my answer, and I knew your answer. I know you know my answer because literally I only talk about it. When will I have made it in my eyes is I have one major goal, and there's elements to that goal. So the main thing is I want to own my own like cottage and have like my own garden. I want to be self-sufficient. I want to have solar. I want to have like a good security system. I just kind of want this like really cute looking fortress that if the world goes to shit, you and I have everything we need to survive. We have food. We've got animals. Like we've got.
You can see the plants in the background.
Yeah. So starting the garden now to make sure that I am capable. Just harvested some bell peppers recently, so they were like, "Yeah, baby little bell peppers," but
I know.
Hey, they were cute.
Cut up 2 of those just to get like a little bit.
I know.
It's like half the size of like ones you'll see at the supermarket.
Exactly.
Which is weird because didn't we? The bell peppers were originally from seeds from a bell pepper that we got at like Target, right?
Yeah.
That's so weird. And then we regrew them, and the bell peppers were like half the size.
Like, do they, make them bigger?
Well, they'll use pesticides, but I mean, I guess whether it affects the genetics.
Ours are small, but they're natural. So
yeah,
I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
So I really want a cottage, a garden, just a place to call ours. Somewhere that's really beautiful and calm and serene. I just want like a really peaceful way of life. Aside from that, I do want maybe like royalties coming in from maybe some novels I've written. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, she's still working on writing her first one, which is really good, but she needs to complete it. And then once that's done, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Next J.K. Rowling over.
Hopefully, that would be pretty cool. Like it's like a series, and then it like becomes a movie series, and then.
Will you tell them like a little bit about what your novel's about, just like very briefly?
Gosh.
Okay. If this was like an elevator pitch, right? You had to
I don't have an elevator pitch. For
No. If you were in an elevator, it's not even an elevator pitch. You're in an elevator and the door's about to open. You got like 5 seconds. You got to give like a 1 sentence.
World of Warcraft, deep fantasy, love story, enemies to lovers, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings-esque, got some Star Wars connection elements.
She's obsessed with Raylo.
I love Raylo.
I'm sure she's going to talk about
There's going to be a lot of elements from all of those major trilogies and, series. So even Game of Thrones, I've got inspiration, but mostly World of Warcraft inspired me whenever I would play.
Yeah.
And then Star Wars. So, yeah.
Yeah, that opening scene is very Star Wars-y.
The explosion.
Sort of thing.
My series starts...
don't give too many spoilers.
Well, my series starts with an explosion. I'll say that. Anyway.
Yeah.
That'll be when I've made it is like, I've got just some like passion projects. I'm not interested in going up a corporate ladder or anything. Like you said, whether the podcast takes off, whether YouTube takes off, whether books, maybe even paintings.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you say that because then, like, usually I feel like I give more concrete answers than you. Like, you're more like because you're artistic.
I think that's how I am. I don't have...
But your answer was actually much more concrete than mine. Mine was more of like the philosophical, and I didn't even really go into a lot of detail about it because I remember I said using the full potential, but just to make mention of it, I guess, because, I'm very passionate about crypto. I've been since 2017, background in biology, medicine, love animals. That's one of the things we definitely, one of the many things, but one of the things we definitely strongly have in common is our love for animals. And so what that thing is, I don't know, still kind of working on it. And hopefully this year, 2023 is, year of discovery and year of transformation. And, what was that word I was thinking of earlier? Oh, resilience. So
I have a good feeling this year will be one that brings out our talents.
Hope so. I think everyone needs it. The last 3 years have been a clusterfuck. So 2 years, no, 3 years, right? 2019 is when COVID, the end of 2019.
I guess 2020 was like the weird year. We weren't in lockdown till like May. So
March.
Was it March or May?
March. Okay. We left the office. We moved into the office in like February, and then we moved out in March. The company I was at was we had an office. It was like a fintech company. And, we had like ping pong tables and shit. It was fun, happy hour, drinks, shit like that. But we went remote right when the pandemic happened. It was like me and like 10 other people were doing like the test pilot or whatever. And then, it was like mid-March, and then that was it. We tried that for like a week, and they're like, all right, we're good. We're going to send the whole 300 people at the company or whatever, go home and remote. And then, and then it kind of like caught on. Then like all these other companies were doing it, which was kind of weird. But anyway,
I think crypto still has like a big space to explore.
Oh, it's just getting started. There's even the things that are more fleshed out in crypto have so much room to go. And that's from like a capitalization standpoint of like the assets themselves is like a market cap, but also the technology. Like There's so many things that are like brand new.
Oh wait, these were NFTs. I was like, can you associate like a crypto with like my brand that I'm creating?
Yeah. Well, what, like,
I don't know.
Give me an example.
Well, you know how you said like musicians could do, so they get the royalties, right? But I remember that was specifically NFTs.
Yeah. So what artists can do is create basically a collection of NFTs and then give those out to the fans, or they can, have them at a certain price, or what would be more beneficial so that other random people aren't buying them and speculating on is maybe people that buy, like, you love T Swift, right? So like people buy her albums, and then those people that buy her albums get a specific NFT that is her collection. And that NFT gives the people access to whatever it is. Maybe it's a ticket to a concert, or they even get money. A lot of like new artists can do that too. You can do that, and it's kind of a way for like people to invest in new and upcoming artists. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I don't really know NFTs super, super well. Like, I only recently got into NFTs like in the last year, but I kind of touch my projects, and that's kind of it. I don't really go further into it, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in the space, but yeah.
Okay. Is there any other, I don't know, factors that you've made it, or self-actualization?
Well, self-actualization, I guess in terms of this answer is like more of a,
because I have
vague term.
I have like the passion projects. I've got the house. I've got the garden. They're all like different. So like, do you?
Well, I don't have like a passion, there's like a certain house I want. Like, I want a night.
Well, you're getting the house I want.
Okay.
But you can make it all high techy. So.
Well, yeah, no, she like, she would be fine with like, you got a house, stone house or whatever, and it's like middle of nowhere and whatever. It's like, no, like if like, I don't mind the cottage stuff, but it's like, yeah.
I want it to look cute, like on the outside, but then all high tech on the
modern
inside.
And yeah, no, it's like we live in 21st century, 2023 for a reason. It's like, I don't want to be like that girl you watch on YouTube where she like goes outside into the 20-degree weather while it's snowing and then boils a frickin' pot. Like,
or even to like pee.
Yeah, like, why would I want to?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that either.
No. So there's that. Obviously, I'm going to get a sports car one of these days.
Sports car, yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, eventually a sports car. And I think it's more of the development and the creation, I think, is going to be big, like the passion project that hopefully will kind of get more developed this year. My big thing is like, you get your finances in order, you build that, and then you can use that to be able to fund the things you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I don't really think about that other stuff too much, because I'm more focused on, if you're broke, you can't fucking afford anything anyway. So work on making money and working on the things you need to work on, and then you be able to, you're buying that time. And that's kind of that's, I think, something that like people don't look at close enough when they think of money, and they think like, oh, well, money is just money. It's like, I don't buy shit. I don't care to buy shit. Like, it doesn't really mean much to me. Sure, a sports car would be nice because I like cars, but I wouldn't have fucking 30 cars, you know? Like, even if I could afford it, I wouldn't have 30 cars. What the fuck's the point of that? There's nothing wrong with getting, like, one nice car. But having money allows you to utilize your time in the ways that you want. So if you have and make money, you can use that time to, in a sense, literally buy time. And time is the most precious asset. So, yeah.
Well said. Should we move on to the next question?
Of course.
Ooh, another deeper.
Two deepers?
Two deepers.
We are really deep in that.
All right. What's your greatest achievement to date?
My greatest achievement to date. Oh, boy. Some people would think, can't do this, that.
Yeah.
I like how my finger is going down when I'm trying
You're
to,
so
like,
bad.
that thing. My diploma.
Degree. High school diploma, isn't it?
It's the same thing. It's synonymous. My bachelor's degree.
Well,
yeah.
You don't want people to think that's like a high school diploma.
No, not a high school diploma. My degree, I went to school for cell and developmental biology. While I was at school, I went to a top research university where I did stem cell research. That is probably one of the more proud things, I guess. Anytime I've ever told anyone that, everyone's always like really kind of like amazed by it. Like, it's very unique. It's not something that a lot of people have done. And it was at a pretty well-known neurobiology lab where I was doing the research. And the program was really difficult. It was like, I think it was the most prestigious research. Yeah, the most prestigious research or scholar program at Fullerton. So it was challenging. It was like it was like a cohort, me and like 6 or 7 other people. And every year they choose new people. You got to like apply and qualify and all that kind of shit. So I think that, at my recent company, I also built a quality control team from scratch, which was kind of cool. I don't think they really respected it or appreciated it in the way that they should have. So I don't know how proud of that I can be, because it kind of feels like it was like almost like tainted. If you've worked in a corporate environment and you worked among bad management, maybe you can empathize with me. I would say probably my stem cell research.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty impressive.
It's okay. How many?
This one's tough for me because I feel like I have like a bunch of like little achievements that I'm proud of. I think, the first one that came to mind was going to nationals multiple times for figure skating.
Oh yeah, on our road trip, which we talked about in the first podcast. Got some videos. Maybe we'll show you guys.
No. I went to nationals when I was younger, and then we attempted to ice skate again after a very long gap of time, and I just lost it all. Cannot do anything I used to do before. All gone. So, it's just amazing, like what I was able to do back in the day.
I mean, it's like 10 years later. I think you'd still have it if you just practice a little bit.
Perhaps. I mean, that was twice a day, like every day of the week. grind.
Practice makes perfect.
It was a lot of work to do that. So yeah, I would say that is probably one of the bigger ones in my life, at least at the moment. About to publish Kids Puzzle Book to Barnes and Noble, which will be another like fun one. Yeah. Don't have anything like on a grand scale. Like I didn't get my bachelor's. I did get my associates. I almost got 2 associates. I think I'm like 1 or 2 classes away from getting another one, but I was like, nah, don't want to do it anymore. So almost got 2 associates, but what else?
Your thing to be most proud of you haven't completed yet, which is your book.
Would be my book.
Yeah.
Yeah. And probably like an established garden or something.
Yeah. I could see that. We've got some avocado plants that are popping in, which are
right here.
Can you show? Yeah.
Actually.
Can't see.
Well, that's the small one.
Yeah, that's the other one. But yeah, the avocado plants are huge.
Yeah, they're really good.
Like we just started growing them, a couple months ago?
It'll be about 10 years till we get to eat them, but
yeah. So on podcast episode 12,000, you can join us then.
Yeah. Greatest achievement. Yeah, I think that's it.
Sorry, I have like Eminem Tourette's. Yeah, anytime I hear like a certain word from a song of his, I start going in a...
Yeah. And you've got me doing that now.
Oh, yeah.
In me. Yeah.
Believe by Eminem. If you want to listen.
I can't. Yeah. There's got to be like another like little one though. I think that one I'm not thinking of.
Thing you're proud of?
Greatest achievement. Oh, you're 2-time gladiator.
Oh yeah. I'm kind of a 2-time gladiator, kind of a big deal, you know. She got my 2-time gladiator. She got me as one of my birthday presents. So like underwear, right? I don't wear it. It's kind of more.
I got it too small, but I didn't.
Yeah, it's almost
like really tight. I think it was a large.
Is it?
Yeah. So I don't know. It was just a tight fabric, I
guess. But yeah, it says like 2-time gladiator on my ass if I'm wearing it. It's a WoW thing. I used to be like a crazy WoW gamer. I mean, she gamed. Well, we game, but I just, you get older and you don't do it as much, but maybe I'll start taking up Twitch streaming, right? Never. It's actually funny. When I was in high school going into college, that's when I was originally, that was like early 2000s or so, like 2006, 7, something like that. And I was playing WoW, obviously, like religiously. And that was around the time that got Gladiator twice. But
what did you play?
I was like, what the fuck am I getting at right now? Rogue, of course. Right. Rogue's the best.
Druid's the best. What are you talking about?
Druid fucking overpowered. That's why they get that. They deserve all the
You know
nerfs.
You love that Convoke.
Fucking ridiculous ability. So instant cast, fucking one button, 2-shot. Good. What the hell was I getting at? I was going somewhere with that.
2-time gladiator?
Yeah, but
Twitch.
Playing oh, thank you. Okay. So I'll forget what I'm talking about, and then she's pretty good at bringing me back, which is kind of funny because my memory is like 100 times better than yours.
Good short-term memory.
Yes, she's got good short-term memory, horrible long-term memory. And I can ramble and rant, so I'll forget what I'm talking about sometimes if I go too far off course. So anyway, before I do it again, wait, I did it. Okay, Twitch, thank you. Okay, so Twitch, Okay,
World
so
of Warcraft.
yes. All right, I'm tracking. So Twitch, World of Warcraft. So when I was in high school, going into college, and I was playing a lot. I mean, I wasn't the best, but I was. I mean, Gladiator was like top 0.02% of your battle group or something. It was like 100 teams out of like 13,000 teams, so it was pretty good. And so I always thought back then, like, oh man, it would be cool to like get paid to like play a video game, right? And like Twitch wasn't a thing. I think Twitch came out in like 2006 or 7. Like it came out then. So it wasn't really, you know, it was kind of like funny. Like people would like laugh at you if you talked about that. They're like, what? Get paid to play a video game? And now you got all these fucking people getting paid to eat food and people are watching them. Like,
yeah,
it's nuts.
There's a niche for everything now.
Yeah.
Which is sort of amazing.
But it's so weird with that though, because it's like the idea was to do that and then it wasn't a thing. And then I stopped gaming and then it kind of became a thing. And then I never ended up doing it. And now it's like a big thing.
Yeah.
And now I'm like,
and now you're behind.
Yeah. I'm like older and like, you know, I mean, especially when you're talking about like video games, like some kid that's like 18 is probably going to have like quicker reflexes than me just because of his age.
Or also the ones that are just home.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is, yeah, people are just home and, or just whatever. They're not working and they're just fucking just like literally like a full-time job. They're playing like 12, 14 hours a day, fucking Call of Duty. It's like, you're not going to fucking beat that, dude. You know, you go into a game, you just get absolutely slaughtered. Like, it's like, oh, it's that dude that's been on for the last 12 hours while I was like working or something, you know?
The South Park episode.
Yeah.
The guy that can't lose.
Yeah. The sword of 1,000 truths.
I can't. I have a life.
Yeah. How do you kill that which has no life?
So good.
Oh.
I remember watching that episode before I played WoW, and like it was not funny to me at all.
Oh, I was fucking dying watching that.
But then I watched it again after I played WoW for a few years, and I was like, best episode ever.
You want to talk about meta? When that game came out, I was playing WoW. I was actually on WoW while the WoW episode was streaming. Like it was live, and they were playing it. And me and everyone else that's like on WoW were like talking in trade chat about the South Park episode that was about WoW. It was so fucking weird. Just like the little things, like I don't know if anyone fucking plays WoW, but like, you know, like hunters back in the day, this, you know, the game obviously is a lot different now, but back in the day it was like a hunter, like you have the auto shot. And so you could just sit in the back in a raid and like, they're just auto shooting and then they're like following someone in the raid. And you could set up macros to just auto shoot the targets. So you would like in the fucking episode, whoever it is, Clyde or whoever's playing the hunter, he's like got his feet up on the table. Fuck, sorry. I did that. So he's got his like feet up on the table. And he's like looking through like it's like a Playboy magazine or some shit.
Oh yeah.
And it's just funny because it's like that's what hunters always did.
But he wasn't actually doing that. He was like,
what do you mean?
He was like AFK. Remember, he was like the character was just like standing there.
Yeah. He was just like, yeah, exactly. Because they were like fighting the nerd.
They were trying to,
or whatever. Yeah, but it was like funny because it's like such a little thing that you don't get the joke if you don't play WoW. You play WoW and you're like, oh, fucking hunters, yeah, because they're always AFK, like just getting XP and loot for, you know.
None of them were a druid.
I wonder what that means. Trash.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You're ridiculous.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're at our 30-minute threshold.
Are we?
Mm-hmm.
Are we doing another one? You want to find an icebreaker? To end on an icebreaker?
We'll end on an icebreaker.
Icebreakers are quick.
Well,
since I guess we're getting the,
we don't make
the
them
cut off here.
We don't make them quick.
All right. We'll answer this We'll end this on one word answer if we can.
All right. What is your favorite place you've visited?
Fuck. I thought it was going to be a this or that. My favorite place that I visited. Mm-hmm. This is a really bad question for me. Good for her because I've never traveled. Actually, when I was
now you have options.
Well, when I was 4 or 5, I went to Hawaii. I liked it. I don't really remember a lot of it.
Doesn't count.
No,
I don't think so. If you don't actually remember.
Well, our road trip. I think it was the prettiest in Wilson, Wyoming, which we stayed, which was 20, 30 minutes from Jackson. That I think was the prettiest. And then obviously the best part of the trip, in my opinion, was in Montana, the food and the company. And it was good. So it wasn't a one word answer, but close.
I wouldn't count the host. It's the place itself.
Okay. Then I'm going to go back to Wyoming then.
Okay.
I would say, yeah, if we're not including Scott's particular, I would say Jackson then. Okay. Jackson, Wyoming that was the best. So fucking pretty.
I would say Aspen or Venice.
Oh, I didn't. I was just thinking about. Fuck, I didn't think about. So we went to Colorado last year. Aspen was pretty fucking amazing. It was really pretty.
It was so cute.
Yeah.
Do you change your answer?
I don't know. I'll go Jackson and Aspen. I'll do a tie. Both of those were really, really pretty.
Yeah. Aspen was just really cute and charming. And then Italy, I loved the canals and just walking along the water, and the buildings were really cool. I don't know if that would be the same. If I went to Tuscany, I'm sure Tuscany would win, or even Vermont in the fall. So until I go to those places, I think Italy or Venice and Aspen are the top for now.
Yeah, I've never been outside of the U.S. Definitely some stuff I want to check out, but
I thought Cancun would be on my list, but
Cancun,
only the resorts are nice. Cancun itself is not.
I know,
cute at all.
Nah, Cancun, Mexico. I'm
Cabo's nice.
Nah, bro, I'm good.
I think Cabo in general is nicer than Cancun.
Those places when it's there's this one spot that's kind of cool, but otherwise it's whatever. Is
yeah.
Because it's this one place is great, and then you walk 3 blocks that way, and you freaking.
I wanted to go to Tulum.
You'd be getting fucking roofied and shit, probably.
I don't know.
Yeah. I've heard stories.
Everywhere has stories.
Yeah. Have you heard those same stories in Aspen, though? Mm-hmm. Have you? No.
Ted Bundy.
You with your crime podcast, you're freaking ridiculous. I don't know anything about Ted Bundy. That was in Aspen?
Yeah, he jumped out of the Aspen courthouse and escaped.
Wait, the fucking thing we walked past?
Yes.
You never mentioned that.
I don't.
Damn, we literally walked right in front of that. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's funny. Weird.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's an interesting note to end on.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me. Lovely conversation.
Thank you for joining me.
Oh, yeah?
Dear Alexandra.
Dear Jason. Yeah. We're still figuring out our schedule. May do a daily, may do twice a day, may just do nightly. We're figuring out what we want to do, and obviously we will announce what we do decide.
Yeah, the trying to get used to everything with the lighting and stuff like that. So, we're working on that. it's dark over here, so we're trying to.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, but yeah, we will try to get out as many episodes as possible. A lot to talk about, and we have a fat deck of cards here too. It's like that big. So
cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining, everyone, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.
Peace.